So I have a little bit of a different video today. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while because I've seen so many people do it. So I'll be doing my own little Will I Buy rant series talking about new makeup releases and whether or not I think they're good or not so good, or if I want to buy them or not. So I'm just going to go back, and for this I'll be using the Trend Moods Instagram page. I'll leave that link down in the description, but that's what I'm going to be using just to start off for the series, just so I get an idea of how I want to be doing this and if this is even something that I want to continue doing. So to keep it simple for myself in the beginning, I'm just going to be using Trend Mood, and I'm going to go back about 6 days on her page, and hopefully this video won't take an hour. But the first thing that I want to talk about is that the Morphe 39A Dare to Create palette is coming back, and this is a palette that I was very interested in when I saw it a while ago, but I never ended up picking it up, and then it got discontinued, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucks, because I kind of wanted that palette. But as of right now, I don't think I'll be picking this up. Like, I think it's great. I think it's an awesome palette for people who like neutral shades and like to build their looks around it, because it has literally everything that you would want, plus it has a lot of pops of colors. But for me personally, I'd say the whole top half of this palette, including the row in the middle, I have all these shades in different palettes, so I don't really need it. And for the bottom shades, some of them are really pretty, but it's a very large palette for me to buy only to get the two bottom rows, and I just don't think I would reach for it that often. But I think the palette is gorgeous, and I'm so happy they're bringing it back. I think a lot of people are going to be really happy about this. Next up, we have a new release from Zoeva Cosmetics. This is a brand that I've never tried, and they're coming out with a little eyeshadow palette here. And my first impression is, how's there only two mattes? And how are the two mattes a very pale pink and a black? What am I supposed to do with that? First off, I never use black in eyeshadow palettes. Like, I don't like deepening up with blacks. I think it looks a little bit too harsh. And the other shade, I mean, really, what am I going to use that with? Set my eyeshadow base? It's just not going to really do anything on my skin tone anyway. I feel like this palette might look a lot better on people with deeper skin tones. I think the jewel shimmer shades, they look awesome. Like, I would love those. Especially the pink one and the green one and the silver one. I think those look really nice, but personally, it's not really an eyeshadow palette that screams my name, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna be running out the door buying this, but I still think it's a nice looking palette. I just don't think I would get that much use out of it personally, so that will be another pass for me. So it looks like Pure Cosmetics is celebrating their 16th birthday. That's kind of cool. So they're coming out with more of a celebration collection, and it says here it includes eyeshadows, pressed glitters, blushes, highlighters, mascara, lashes, and a mini gloss. So I mean, I would be interested in seeing... Oh, okay, so there's pictures there. I'll put them up on the screen. First we have a pure mask, which I'm not even going to talk about this. I'm not one to spend a lot of money on masks, so I'm going to skip over that. We also have it looks to be like a oil elixir. It looks pretty. It's got gold flakes in it from what I can see. Not interested. Gonna pass over that as well. Next up we have what looks to be an eyeshadow palette, and I'll be honest, it doesn't excite me. I think the color story is kind of boring. The glitters look very chunky. I have all these shades, not impressed. Also, I've tried Pure before because we've gotten a lot of their products in BoxyCharm, and I just haven't really been blown away by their eyeshadow palettes so far. I don't know if this is the same formula or if the ones that are made for BoxyCharm are different, but this is going to be another pass for me. They're also coming out with what looks to be lipsticks. I am not one for bullet lipsticks. I don't know if it's because I'm just not able to properly apply them. I don't like using lip liners unless I have to, so bullet lipsticks just aren't something that appeals to me. So, I mean, the shades look really nice. One of them kind of looks to be more of a gloss or a topper, which I think would be really cute, but I'm gonna skip over those as well. It doesn't really excite me. And they also have a brush set coming out, which looks to be like the Artiste sets. I've never tried those. I've tried like similar types. I have one here that I got, which is a foundation brush that I got from a store back in Norway. So yeah, again, seen these brushes before. I guess if I wanted to get a brush set that maybe wasn't as expensive as the originals, I would be interested in this. It's not that bad. It's $39 for 5 brushes, so I mean, good value. If you want to try this kind of brush, it might be a good idea to pick up. But for me, I'm going to pass. Next up, we have a new collection from Smashbox. I like Smashbox. I have some of their lipsticks and stuff, and I've tried different things from them in the past, and I've been pretty impressed. They are coming out with... So this looks to be their Ablaze collection. It includes a face palette and always on metallic matte lipsticks. So the face palette looks really nice. It got a good variety of blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. I feel like I have a lot of this already. I don't really need any more, and I've said this before, but like face products don't really get me excited, so it would have to be very, very special for me to be like, yes, I need this, I'm gonna get this, and this is not one of them. They're also coming out with 3 of their metallic lipsticks, and I've said before, I like metallic lipsticks, and I even have some of these from Smashbox. I have a green one somehow. Yeah, shocking, I know. So these look really nice to me. I don't think I'll be looking for a metallic lipstick to add to my collection right now because I feel like I have enough. And it's not something that I reach for on like a regular basis, maybe once every 2 weeks or so, and so I don't need another one. I have plenty that I want to go through. But they do look really nice. I like the shades in it. And they also have a little trio of their eyeshadows. I think these are really cool. I haven't tried any of them yet personally, but I've heard a lot of really good things about it. Obviously these shades are just not my jam, and you guys know that if you've been to my channel for more than one video. I'm not really into a bunch of neutrals and smoky gold coppery eyelid shades, so that's that. They're also coming out with what looks to be, oh, it's a lip palette, okay. Yeah, I don't like lip palettes, so that's the end of that. Kat Von D now has some Metal Crush highlighters out, and they also have a highlighter stick. Is that what that is? Yeah, I guess so. The highlighter sticks are the same colors as the highlighters. Not sure how I feel about the sticks. I don't really know how I would use that. I feel like if I'm gonna get a highlighter, I might as well just get a powder, and it's gonna be a lot easier to work with. So I will say though that I am intrigued by this. I think they look really pretty. I think this pink one looks gorgeous. I also really love a yellow highlight, so you know, I mean, I'm intrigued. I will maybe put this on my Sephora wish list, if anything. I definitely wouldn't mind trying this. I'm not going to go into what I think of all the Kat Von D drama, but I will still probably be buying her stuff, even though I don't necessarily agree with what she's doing, but that's for another video. Hopefully not, because I don't really want to end up talking about this. It's just been talked about too much. Also, it looks like Huda Beauty is coming out with a new lip product. It says it's a demi matte, and it has a new finish long-lasting lip cream. I don't really know what that means, but I like Huda Beauty. I wouldn't mind trying these. I haven't tried her matte formulas, but I have some for glosses I really, really, really like. So this is interesting to me. Wow, the shades are also really pretty. I honestly like all of these. I feel like maybe if these came in a set, I would get them. I would definitely be very, very interested in trying them. Now, I don't think I would buy just one of them because I don't know, I want them all. So I don't think I'd be able to choose. Maybe I'll go swatch these at Sephora. I'm interested. I could see myself adding one of these to my collection, but again, it's not something that I'll be running out the door later today to buy, but they're really pretty. Oh, I guess they'll be available on July 29th, so I wouldn't be able to do that anyway, but I will definitely keep an eye on these, and I'm interested. And it looks like Kylie's collection is now available. This was as of 5 days ago, and there's an eyeshadow palette, there's a bunch of stuff in here. There's lip products. I've ordered from Kylie before. I have a video on products that I regret buying. I'll link that up here. And one of the things in there was an eyeshadow palette that I absolutely hated. And I've seen a lot of people not really like Kylie's eyeshadows. And to be honest, this palette is just kind of a snooze fest. I've seen this palette a year ago, so it's not something that I'm interested in anyway, but even if I was, I just don't think I'll be purchasing from Kylie again. her stuff is just not that, it's just not that exciting. The only things that I do like from her is one of the lipsticks that I have, and I guess I would maybe try one for glosses, but to be honest, I just don't want to order from her. I know her return policy is non-existent, so you know, if you get a product and it breaks and you can't like send it back or anything, like that's just, I don't want to have to deal with the hassle, and it's just not worth my money. Plus she's expensive too, so yeah. Looks like there's also new skincare coming out, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't care about it. There's a new hair product coming out, again, don't care. So this is interesting. NYX is coming out with a new foundation range in a collaboration with Alissa Ashleys, and I love her. I think she is great. Her makeup skills are on point, and she has this series right now where she does like random Mondays or whatever it's called. She basically has a wheel that she like uses to spin to pick random things from, and it's really funny. I'll link one of her videos down below as well if you want to check that out. But yeah, she's amazing, and I think it's great that a brand like NYX is collabing with someone of a darker skin tone to help balance out their ranges for foundations. I think that's amazing because it's really, really hard to find good foundations for people with darker skin, and I know I am very privileged to not have that problem, and I can go into pretty much any store and pick up a foundation, but I think it's so important that we're inclusive and that everyone can find something that they're looking for, even at the drugstore, even more so at the drugstore because it's more affordable. So I think this is amazing. So, I mean, big clap for this collection. I think it's great. I probably won't be picking it up myself because I don't need any new foundations, but I think this is a great release. Also, Beauty Blender is sneak peeking that they're coming out with something new, and this has already been released. It's a new foundation. I'll talk about that in a little bit. Bobbi Brown is sneak peeking more highlighters that they're coming out with. Let's see, anything else? Some lip products. It looks to be also an eyeshadow palette that they haven't shown yet, at least from what I can see. The highlighters, though, I do have a Bobbi Brown highlighter, and I really like it. It's more of a subtle formula, and I like that it's kind of more of an everyday kind of glow. I am not so into the booming highlights, you know, that a lot of people really like. I don't need to be seen from space. I'm fine to be seen from the neighbors, you know, that's okay with me. So these look really pretty. I'm very drawn to the golden pink one, and I would go swatch these, and if they look nice, I'm not really a highlighting junkie. I know I'm in the minority, but these look really nice. So yeah, Bobbi Brown, maybe. It looks like Becca is coming out with new concealers, and these seem to be online at Beautylish. I'm not sure if that's the only place. I'm sorry I keep looking down my phone, but it's really hard for me to look up and still be reading, you know what I mean? So yeah, they're coming out with new concealers. It looks like the shade range is really good, I will say that, so that's great. Let's see, when are these coming out? Oh, it says they're available now. Okay, so no, that's cool. Again, I don't really need a new concealer. I'm very happy with my Tarte Shape Tape, and concealer is just not really something that I get drawn to. I'm not one to run out to try a new concealer because I have one that works very well for me that I like. Now, if I were to somehow get it as a gift, like, I'll be happy to try it, but I am not going to be running out and spending my money on a new concealer. But this is interesting. So we have a new release by Buxom Cosmetics. They're coming out with 10 Pillow Pout Creamy Plumping Lip Powder. What even is a lip powder? I've heard those so many times. I just don't really understand. How do you get a precise application with a powder? Or maybe I just need to try it for myself, but it just doesn't sound very appealing. The shades look really nice. They're all very wearable shades. I will give them that. But I don't understand why everything needs to be so innovative. Why do we need a powdery lip product? I just don't understand. I don't get it. So I will not be buying that. Also, Milani is coming out with 2 new eyeshadow palettes. These look nice. They look like the Stila palettes, so what are you doing? But yeah, if you don't already have a warm neutral palette with a lot of pinks and browns and reds and neutrals, then you would probably like this one. Like, if you're watching this and you don't have a palette like that already, do you even makeup? Now the cool tone one I really like. I think if you are into making very neutral wearable looks, then you'd probably like this. And I feel like there is a lack of cool tone eyeshadow palettes on the market right now, even though there seem to be a lot coming out, but I'm just not excited. I'm sorry. I have heard though that the formula on these are really good, so if these look nice to you, then I would probably recommend picking them up because they're pretty affordable, I think. It doesn't have any prices on here yet, but I'll see if I can find that. Also, I guess I should talk about the new Norvina eyeshadow palette. I think this is really freaking pretty, and I want it, but I don't need it, but I want it. Guys, I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? I don't need this. I need to find a way to talk myself out of it, basically. So, yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I also really like the lipstick. I like the lipstick color, and I want that, but again, I don't need it. And also, Anastasia's lipstick formula is not my favorite. I have a couple of her lipsticks that I still wear, but it's not one that I tend to reach for. So I don't feel like I should really pick up any more of the Anastasia lipsticks. But I think the shade is really pretty. Also, I want to talk about these new eyeshadow palettes from Ace Beauty. Ace Beauty is a brand that I've never heard of, or I had never heard of until about a week ago when they started sneak peeking some of these palettes. And I will say that the palettes are really nice. I was looking at the purple one and I was like, oh, I like that. I almost think I like that more than the Norvina. Is that even possible? Like, I feel like if the Norvina one and this one had a baby, it would be the perfect purple palette. So I'm intrigued. Will I get it? Probably not. The rainbow palette is really nice. The red one with all the warm tones, I have the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, so I definitely don't need this. And I have a bunch of pink shades and stuff like that that's in the last one, so yeah. If I were to get one of these though, it would be the purple one. I think that it's absolutely gorgeous. And just looking at this picture here where they show a look from all of the palettes, I think they look incredible. Especially look at that top one on the dark skin girl. Oh, that is so pretty. So pretty. So pretty. So there's a new collaboration with Dose of Colors, and I'm going to butcher this name. It is with a girl called I Love Sarah. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know who this is. I'm sorry, maybe I'm misinformed, but yeah, I don't know who this is. I will say though that I have never tried Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks, and I've heard really good things, and these two shades look really nice. I kind of like the gold glittery one. It reminds me a little bit of a shade that I already have, but again, like, I feel like I have lipsticks in all kinds of shades, so they're all gonna be similar. The eyeshadow palette is nice. It's a little bit boring for me personally. There's only really one shade in it that I would like, and that's that green blue sparkly color. I think that one looks really pretty. The highlighters look to be way too dark for me. I'm gonna just look up this girl and see who she is. So it looks like she's Mexican and her skin type is more on the medium side. So maybe these highlighters will look better on someone with her skin tone. But I do not think that I need these highlighters, so I'll be probably skipping over this collection as well. Too Faced has now shown one of their palettes from the new Tutti Frutti collection, and I think this is really pretty. I think it's pretty, but again, I have all these shades, I don't need it. But if you want a neutral palette with a pop of purple and pink, then I think this would be great. It looks awesome, actually. I think the packaging is really cute. I wonder if it smells good. If it smells good, I would be interested in going there just to smell it, but I will not be picking this up. It looks like BH Cosmetics is coming out with 10 new liquid lipstick shades, and these look really nice. Yeah, I think maybe I would pick up one of these if I were to make an order with BH. I really like everything that I've gotten from BH, so these will be available on July 18th, which is today when I'm filming this, so it'll probably be up tomorrow for you guys. And here's what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about this mini Natasha Denona palette. So this is she says this is the baby to her Lila palette, and her Lila palette is gorgeous. I want it, but it's so expensive. When I saw this, I was like, maybe I should get this instead of the Norvina palette, but then I was like, I don't need the Norvina palette. Why do I need this? I still want it, but I don't need it. I think the swatches look absolutely amazing. I'm very intrigued by this. I definitely think there's a chance that when this launches in stores that I will pick this up. If any of you want to see a review on this, please let me know. There's a much better chance that I'm gonna end up buying this, but I'm very drawn to this for some reason, and I think I'm gonna end up getting it at some point. Lime Crime is coming out with 2 new palettes. It is called their Plushies. It says they are extending their Plushies line. I don't really know much about Lime Crime. I've never purchased from them. I don't know what their Plushies line is, but looking at these eyeshadow palettes, I think they look really pretty, and I want both of them. Again, it's one of those things, do I need it? No. Do I want it? Absolutely. Probably won't end up getting it, but I would be really happy if I had it. So I think this is a good release. I think they look really pretty. I think they're cohesive with still being a little different, and I think the tones of them work really well together, and I think they're pretty unique for, you know, being a quad. I haven't seen a lot of quads like that, so that's exciting. Now here's one. It says that Juvia's Place is coming to Ulta, which for me is amazing because I have an Ulta about 10 minutes from where I live. I don't shop as much at Ulta as I do at Sephora, but I always drop by when I'm around, and I think that's amazing. And they're also releasing this A Freak palette, which actually became available yesterday, and I saw it and I snagged it, so that'll be coming. It's already on the way. It's actually even shipped, so excited. I'll definitely be doing a 3 looks 1 palette with this, and I also got the Magic Mini palette, which I've heard so many people say good things about, and I'm so excited to get them because I love Juvia's Place. So yeah, that's awesome news. So Ofra is coming out with a new highlighter palette. It's going to be $49, and it will be available on July 1st online. And I think this looks really pretty. I think it looks pretty. Yeah, that's all I can say about it. I would love this palette. I'm not really sure about the large palette that has like 4 pans in it. I'm not really into that. Hello. Can I help you? He's in a little bit more of a cuddly mood today. There you go. Hey. Say hello to the YouTubes. Say hello. Hi. You're just gonna sit here? You're gonna let me keep filming? Am I gonna have cat hair all over my mouth now when I'm gone? Probably. That was a good time for my camera to start recording at least. So we were talking about this over highlighting palette, and I think it's really pretty. I think the singles are more intriguing to me than the 5-pan palette. I don't really like pans that have more than 1 product in them. I find it kind of useless. Or not useless, but just unnecessary. Like, why can't you just put them separately? Maybe if you swirl them all together, like, it's gonna look really nice, but how am I supposed to know what that looks like if I can't see it as 1 shade? So I will not be picking up this, but it's really pretty. I like the packaging a lot too. Oh, so Cover FX is coming out with a Power Play concealer. That's exciting because I have their foundation, the Power Play foundation. I got that sent to me from Influencer, and I really like that foundation. I think it's a good foundation, and I would be interested in trying the concealer. Usually I don't get excited for concealers, but this one is like, maybe. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I guess it's coming out, let's see. It says it will be available at the end of July on their website, and in August at Sephora. So yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that. It also looks like Jouer is coming out with a new concealer. It says the new Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer with hyaluronic acid. I can't say that word. Hyaluronic acid. Well, I don't want to say acid. Hyaluronic acid. That's it. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not excited about this. Probably because I haven't tried anything from Jouer and I don't have anything to compare it to. But I think that the Cover FX foundation is more exciting to me personally. But the shade range in this looks to be really good and So does the Power Play concealer. Cover FX is one of the best in the game with that, in my opinion. Their shade range is just fantastic. So it looks like Urban Decay is coming out with a new little mini aphrodisiac. Is that how you say it? I don't English, I don't know. But they're coming out with a new eyeshadow palette. It's got 6 pans in it, and this looks to be a lot like the Too Faced one that we just looked at, doesn't it? Yeah, so these two are very similar. It's not something that I'll be picking up. I've heard a lot of good things about the Urban Decay little mini palettes though, so if these colors are something that you're interested in, this probably wouldn't be a bad purchase, but I am for sure going to be skipping over that. Also, I guess I will go back to talking about the new foundation by Beauty Blender, which I think is kind of cool that they're coming out with a foundation, and it looks to be a spray bottle, is that right? I don't know, I can't really tell, but from the packaging it kind of looks like it has like a spray thing on it. I will say though that the shade range here looks to be pretty bad. It only really has 4 deep shades, and then the rest of them, I don't even know how many shades they have, like 20 shades, look very similar, which, I mean, this is 2018, we can do better than this, so I will not be picking this up. I don't want to support a range that looks like this. I don't think it's acceptable, so I'm not going to be picking that up. It looks like Huda Beauty is coming out with a matte oil-free primer. That's kind of cool. I feel like Huda Beauty has a very good reputation in general in the beauty community, so I'm sure this is going to be a great primer. I said in a previous video that I made that I don't really like primers. I'm not really into primers. I have a hard time finding a primer that works for me, that does what I wanted to do, and the only one that I've found is the Farsali Unicorn Drops, and so I'm just going to keep using that for now until someone tells me I need to try something else. But I'm sure this is going to be a good product. I'm interested in watching the reviews. So next we have an eyeshadow palette. This is by OPV Beauty. I have never heard of them. It looks to be a British company, and they also say that they're cruelty-free, which is awesome. The eyeshadow palette looks really, 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 really pretty. It's a rainbow palette, but it still has more than 1 shade of each color. So I don't know if I would consider it to be a rainbow palette, but I think this is gorgeous. I think it's really pretty. It reminds me a little bit of the Violet Voss Flamingo palette that just came out, just with a little bit of a brighter pop of shades colors. But like in general, like the overall theme of it looks to be similar, but I'm intrigued. I will look up some reviews on this, and if it gets good reviews, I will be interested in maybe picking this one up. I think it looks really pretty. The last thing that I'm going to talk about today, I'm sure I've skipped over a couple of things, but there's just so many posts here. And I try to keep it to things that I actually somewhat care about. So this is the new 2 palettes from Loreal Los Angeles. I think this is a very smart release. Yes, it might be a little bit similar to the Manu MUA palette with just the idea of having like a matte side or a neutral side and a colorful side. But since this is 2 separate palettes, I think it's a little different. I like the palettes. I like the fact that she's actually come out with something colorful and that she's listening to the community, even though I feel like the shade selection is not really that exciting. I wish there was a green in there. I'm really missing a green in there. I think that would be great. I think if you took away one of the... Maybe if you took away the orange shade and put in a red, and then you put in a green instead of one of the blue shades, maybe that would be a better idea. I don't know, but I like them. I'm not gonna pick them up, but I think this is a very smart release for her, and I think it's a step in the right direction if she wants to continue expanding her brand. And the fact that she is listening to what us as consumers want, I think that's great. So I'm expecting good things from her, and I think that these palettes will get really good reviews, as her other palettes have, and I think her formula is really good from what I've heard, so I think this is pretty exciting. But am I gonna get it? No. I think that's all I have for today. And I don't know how often I'll be doing these, but I'm gonna try to do maybe every 2 weeks or so, maybe every week, who knows. We'll see what I feel like, and I'll see what the response is to this video if you guys want to hear me just ramble on about things that you've probably heard 10,000 times already. But I think this is a fun little thing to do, and maybe next time I need to do more research on the products and not just like look at Trendmood and be like, oh, what's this? But yeah, so that was all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.